City of Stevens Point Plan Commission meeting, recorded August 3, 2020.
All right, I do have 6 o'clock. We will call the regular City Plan Commission meeting to order. Director Konoski, you want to call the roll?
Weeza.
Here.
Kneebone.
Here.
Haynes.
Here.
Cooper.
Here.
Arnson.
Here.
Rice.
Here.
Hoppy.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We have everyone present, so we'll move on to our discussion items. Hopefully it's a relatively quick meeting. Item number 2 is the report of the July 27th meeting of the Plan Commission. Those minutes were included in your packet, Commissioners. What are your wishes?
Move approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Haynes.
Second, Cooper.
Seconded by Cooper. Any further discussion on that? Corrections, changes? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will, those are approved, and we will move on to item number 2, which is a public hearing and subsequent action on a request from Danes Droik to rezone a property at 2725 Water Street at the parcel identified from R5 multifamily 2 to M Light Light Industrial. This is a good thing for our community, a locally owned business, locally started business rather. An iconic piece of Stevens Point is looking to expand even further once again. So Director Konoski.
Thank you, mayors and member of the commission. Before you tonight is a public hearing and action on a request from the Stevens Point Brewery to rezone the property at 2725 Water Street from R5 multiple family to residential to M1 light industrial. A little bit of history regarding this project. This house, the brewery purchased the house in 2011, subsequently tore it down, and then went for a rezoning request at that time to M1, and this is in 2011, and it came before the Plan Commission City Council. As part of the community development's decision-making process at that time, they had decided to encourage a rezoning from R2 to R5, and that's how we came up with the R5. Also at that time, there was an approval for a conditional use to construct a parking lot on that property. Of course, just given the aerial photos that are within your packet, we'll show in a moment here, there was never a parking lot constructed. But overall, the brewery is looking at doing some expansion, adding a tap room and a gift shop within the subject property. I will remind the commission that in order for the brewery to do any type of expansion, they will need to come before you and receive a conditional use permit as well, and that will also require a public hearing. Because of the alcohol component and the more commercial component, instead of utilizing that property for R5, we decided to encourage them to rezone it to the M1 light industrial district. So again, we talked about the conditional use that will have to come before the Plan Commission in the future if they were to do the expansion, and it sounds like they were looking at doing that within the next few years. So the one thing that we found during the initial review was that the subject parcel did not meet the minimum width standard for a lot within the M1 district. So if we were to approve this tonight, they would have to submit a certified survey map to the Community Development Department to be reviewed and approved to combine the lot into one. Again, currently, if you look here, the outline of the lot is a standalone. When they purchased both lots, there were 3 separate lots here. The brewery, there was a vacant lot here, and then this one as well. There was a house on this lot. Again, they tore it down with the intention of building a parking lot at this location for their employees, but now given kind of the change in brewery economics, if you will, and the demand for tap rooms, they'd like to do some type of addition and a small parking lot here as well with the tasting room and the gift shop. Mm-hmm. As you can see on the future land use map here, the property is identified for residential use. This is a 2005 future land use map. At the time when this was reviewed in 2011, there was a concern that, hey, we are taking away from the future land use, we're making this more manufacturing, And if you really think about how the comprehensive plan works and the future land use map component of it, it gives the Plan Commission and City Council to make adjustments. Given that we're adjacent to an existing industrial use to the north with the existing brewery and the rezoning of the property north of it as well, that was once residential from the R2 to the M1, staff has no concerns with the change in zoning here from the R5 to the M1. And arguably, if you look at, here's our existing zoning map, the R5 kind of stands out as its alone item here. I do have concerns just from a zoning perspective. You've got the R2, which is our single family residential surrounding it, and then you have multifamily, and then you have the M1. This property itself really doesn't serve as a buffer as sometimes the R5 zoning district can serve in these situations. So, you know, you're not likely going to get a multifamily residential development on this lot itself. We're providing the opportunity for a local business to do some expansion. They already are the major tenant in this block itself, and you've got industrial uses across the street. So staff has no concerns with the rezoning itself. With that, I outlined the standards within the staff report itself. Given all that, we would recommend approval to rezone the property at 2725 Water Street from R5 multiple family to residential to M1 light industrial with the two conditions outlined there. Would be more than happy to answer any questions. I believe a representative from the brewery is also on the call and would be able to answer any questions you folks have as well.
Thank you, Director. For the people who are on the call now, if you are not speaking, please mute yourself. It cuts down on background noise, and it just makes it easier for everyone to hear. If you wish to speak, or you are speaking, obviously, unmute yourself when you are recognized, and then we'll square that away. Ryan, you have control over that. So if anyone needs help, there's a phone number here I don't recognize, 252-7515. It looks like you're probably only connected via phone, so we would just ask that you use the mute button on your phone. From the commissioners, are there any clarifying questions before I open up the public hearing? Okay, then I will declare the public hearing open. Anyone wishing to offer testimony on this request, unmute yourself, and I'm gonna try and keep this in an orderly fashion. I got somebody who's got some background noise. Regardless, public hearing is open. If you wish to offer testimony, please indicate so, waving your hand or some other indication, chat room. Public hearing remains open. And for the third time, the public hearing remains open. Just going through the screen to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. I don't see any indications of anyone from the public wishing to offer testimony. So with that, I will declare the public hearing closed, and we will move it back to the commission. Commissioners, what are your wishes?
Commissioner Hoppy, I just have one question. Again, maybe getting a little bit ahead, but the residential that is south of that, is that facing Memphis Street? Not the, is there one house there?
Matilda, you mean?
Two?
There's three homes that are on Matilda. The access to the home on Water and Matilda is off of Matilda. However, the house does face Water Street, but the other two face Matilda.
Okay, and I, you know, again, getting ahead a little bit, I'm assuming when they have their plans, we'll ask for some buffering, maybe have some landscaping and things like that.
Right, and that seems logical, but tonight we're only considering the rezoning. The conditional use has not been submitted yet. Any of the commissioners wishing to ask a question or make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, this is Cooper. I would move approval of the request as presented with the staff recommended conditions.
Thank you, Commissioner Cooper. And do we have a second?
I'd second.
I got Kneebone as a second. Sorry, Pete.
No worries.
All right, a motion and a second has been made to approve the rezoning request. Any discussion there? Hearing none, commissioners, unmute yourself. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Rezoning request is approved. Thank you, representatives from the Point Brewery who are in attendance. Have a good night. Item number 4 is the staff update. Director Karnowski?
I have nothing of significance for the commission tonight. We've been meeting a lot lately, and so I appreciate everyone taking their time and spending time with us on Monday nights going through this. The only kind of just note what's coming up here is we are prepared likely at the next Finance Committee meeting to go public with the proposal for the Fox Theater. As this commission likely knows, anytime we sell land or buy land or anything of that nature, the Planning Commission does have to review it. So I would suspect that that's going to be a topic at the September meeting. With that, that's all I have, other than, again, congratulations to Maria. And we miss her dearly already, but she'll be back in a few short weeks. So thank you.
Okay, Director, how about if you, can you give us an update real quick on the Berkshire project? Everything moving along there as planned?
Yeah, Berkshire, which is the affordable senior housing project across the street from Edgewater, has been moving along. There's been no significant delays or anything like that. In fact, it's been moving along almost too easily. So knock on wood there. No concerns. Yeah. So, but they are still on target to open next year sometime.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, with that, our agenda is exhausted and we are adjourned in record time at 6:11. Have a good evening, everyone.
Videos of these meetings are available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.